Hello everyone and welcome to Sketchnote Summer Camp. I am so excited. So this is week 2. So today I'm going to show you what I did for week 1 and what I did for week 2 and give you some tips on how to finish the week 2 challenge. So thanks so much for being here at the Sketchnote Summer Camp. So you can post your things in the Sketchnote Boss Facebook group. You can also follow along on YouTube under Marsha Baker, or you can just go to the blog at www.blessings.com. So what we do here is we just practice visual faith. So we are in the process of adding more tools to our spiritual toolbox so we can be visual in our worship and our Bible study and our devotional time and to bless others. Because there is a visual language inside of us all that got squished when we were 8 or 9. I have stories to tell you, and then we just we can't draw. So, but I just want to encourage you that we are not here to make art, and we are not going to enter any art contests, and we are not going to frame anything, and nobody's going to judge you. This just the process of being visual is just going to rock your world. It's just going to open your brain up, and it just has so many benefits that we will talk about in the coming weeks. So I'm just so glad you're here. So and I just want to talk a little bit about what you see in my background. So you might not have seen this before. My lighting is not the best tonight, but I just thought if I'd wait until I get it perfect, then I'd never get it done. So we're just going to get her done. But this is the art room. I'm finally downstairs. I'm very excited. So this is my art room. So over here, this got all my shelves of books. And in the back, I've got my supplies. And then I've got a whole other half of the room over there, but that's not quite ready for prime time. So, but we're working on it. So, so anyway, I'm very excited. So we're going to just continue to work on the lighting and the sound and everything so I can make videos more often and I don't have to wait for the house to be quiet or everyone to be gone. So I'm very excited so I'll be able to produce more videos. So anyway, so just bear with me tonight and let's just get going here. So I am going to make me smaller here. There we go. Well, I'm not leaving. There we go. There we go. Oh, there I am. Here I am. All right. So so first of all, there is a printable, and it is at www.blessings.com. And what you need to do is sign up for the newsletter. And in the confirmation email that you will get, it will give you a link to the members only page. And the summer camp Sketchnote Summer Camp printout is the very first item. If for some reason you do not get an email, so let me just write this down. Here's my email address. Okay, it's Bless Inks. I will write it down for you. Right, Bless Inks @live.com. And if you send me an email saying that you didn't get an email, I will add you to our list, and I will also send you the link so you can get this printed. Right now for June, I believe it's 11 pages, I think. So, well, we'll count them. We'll count them before we leave so you know how many you need. I'd encourage you to print it on cardstock if you have it, and then at the end, I will show you how we're going to bind this. Okay, so here's my cover. So there's my cover. So I decided to make it like a little game and with all the little things that I wanted to do. So my summer starts with Circus Flora. So it's a lovely circus here in St. Louis. Unfortunately, they didn't have it this year, but they did have a virtual circus. So Circus Flora is so lovely because it just really focuses more on just human achievement with acrobats and great clowns and just skill. Silks, aerial silks, things like that. It's just amazing to what people can do. So it's not glitzy and there aren't clowns being shot out of cannons and that kind of thing. So, so I just love the circus. A couple of years ago, I've seen it for a long time, and then I decided that my sister's grandkids were in town, so I thought that would be a great cover to go, and it was so lovely. I just decided, you know what, so I drag my husband every year, and that's just the start of my summer. So that was just last week. That was good. And then, you know, I always long to go to the beach, but haven't been to the beach in a while. So this is the year of my garden. So I will show you a bigger picture of my garden a little bit later. And then maybe actually when I get everything done this year, because last year was not the year of the garden, and it is overgrown. And so I'm working on it. So when it's all done, maybe we'll have a little garden tour. Have a little garden party. I'll invite you guys over for tea. How about that? So the next thing on my list is kind of a scary thing. It's just my brother-in-law had a brain tumor removed. He just was having some issues and went in and didn't realize he had a brain tumor, and so I had it removed. So we're kind of just waiting to find out what that's all about. So you could be in prayer for my brother-in-law Ron, that it is just benign and it was just a thing and it's gone and he's in good shape now. So we'd really appreciate some prayers. The other thing on my bucket list is I want to ride my bike, and my favorite place to ride is called 370 Lakeside Park, and they have dinosaurs all around the park. It's very fun. So we're going to go on Girls Weekend, and I can understand we're going to Lavender Farm. So being the master gardener that I am, that's going to be fun. We're going to have a family reunion. Of course, we're all wearing masks. I don't know if you can really see that, but we're all wearing masks. And although at the time I wrote this, I thought we'd go on a road trip, but it doesn't look like we're going to go on a road trip. My husband likes to go to presidential libraries, and everybody's closed, so I don't think we're going anywhere. So, finished the 100-day project. Oh my goodness, that was just being ambitious. That was just a little too much. I think if I'm going to do this again, I need to pick something not quite so time-consuming. So. Can't have summer without iced tea, and I love fireworks, and I decided I am going to fill up an entire, let me see if I can find one really quick. I'm going to do a really quick flip through, fill up a little journal. So I'm just going to get a whet your appetite. There we go. There we go. So this is just a couple of pages. I'm going to show you the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 pages. So this is just, I'm having fun with watercolor. Just loving that. So I just thought that'd be great. I've got verses for these. So, and I'm just, I'm a doodle girl. I love pens, right? And then I found this white pen. So I'm going to have to show you the white pen. So just thought I'd do some strips and some that, and then some dots. Oh, I'm just having tons of fun. And then here's my crazy pages. So the big crazy flowers. So Tracy Hewitt is somebody that I follow. She's just a lovely lady in Australia. So she does these, and actually I took one of her classes and we did that sheet. So, and then 2 more pages, and then I will show you the rest later. But anyway, so that's kind of just a little walkthrough of what I've been doing. It's been good because it's just going to really helping me not be so tight, kind of loosen it up a little bit. So it's been very exciting. So I will show you the rest in another video. So, but here is my right, so I wanted to fill up a journal, and then back to school in September. So the reason I just wanted to show you this, still put together like this, is I taped this down because I use my watercolors here. But if you have markers, no big deal. But I just used my watercolors here, and so therefore I taped it down with blue tape, but frog tape also works really well. Do I have any frog tape handy in my little drawer? And of course, no, I have no frog tape. Who knows where the frog tape went? It probably hopped away. Probably along with the little frog in my basement. But that's a story for another time. So I will tell you about my frog in my basement. Anyway, so I will take this off, and I will be all in good shape to bind it. So, but it just helps it be, and especially because this is index card stock, is not watercolor paper. I was very light with my water. I didn't, like sometimes with watercolor paper, you just coat the whole thing in water, and then you just kind of drop colors on. But here I was very careful and very specific about where I was putting the colors so it didn't buckle. You can see it didn't buckle, so that's going to make a lovely cover. All right, so let me show you the rest of week 1. I don't know where to put everything. There we go. Let's put it over there. All right. So, so here's my letters. So hopefully you have some fun with letters, and just, you know, if we get to talk about fireworks, just illustrate the word, you know, just really stretch your brain and your visual thinking, you know, lemonade and tropical and beach. There was a lemonade stand. The 4 little girls had a lemonade stand on Sunday on my way home from church. So I had to stop and get some lemonade. So that was pretty fun. So, and then here's my doodles. So I will post this in case you're stuck and don't know what to doodle. So here's some fun summer doodles. There we go. I got to get this angle straight. So, so anyway, I just had a little fun with some color here, and here's my flip-flops. And I just think this triangle is such a fun, simple, easy border that you can just, so basically, all right. See, I'm showing you things. I'm going to show you on this page, even though it's lined. So I am going to take a pencil, right, and I'm just going to draw where I want my line to go, like that. And then I start my point. I come down here, right, and then I'm going to make them both 2 lines. And then I just come over and I make my triangle. So I put my point on the line, and then I draw out and over and back down. So it doesn't matter that they're not all the same size, but it's following the line, and you're just going to get that very fun whimsy look. And you can do other things. You can, you know, put little things coming out or little circles. You can do more triangles. You can do all kinds of things in this line, but it's just a very fun, simple, easy way, and especially if you just fill it with bright colors, it just makes a very fun border for the summer. So here's some other borders, and then there's my fireworks, and then ice cream, because I bike for ice cream. So my sister and I go on bike rides, and we don't go unless there's an ice cream shop on the way. So here's some more, and then just have some fun with some banners up here at the top. You can just do all kinds of different banners, and if you get to go to the ocean, you can do some waves. So there's my border page, or my pattern page. And then here's my icon page. And of course, I don't normally take the time to color this all in, but I did. I just thought it'd be fun. So sandcastles and palm trees and beach towels and crabs, and I like crabs so much they're on there twice. Barbecue pits. So these are the things I thought of for summer. So I'd love to see what you come up with, because maybe I might have to add to the sheet. So anyway, so I just had some time, had some TV time, so I went ahead and colored those in, but certainly don't need to. But at least then when we get to other things, you will have your icons all ready to go. All right, and I see that I had a little issue, so I wonder what happened there. So all right, so okay, first thing. So this was your challenge this week, to come up with a bucket list. So, and mine's a messy bucket list. And I know this looks like a piece of pizza, like with all kinds of vegetables on it. I know it does, but this is my garden. I have a very large kidney-shaped garden. As soon as you walk out my back door, here's my garden. And then I've got, like, it's got planking over here and then a little fireplace over here. And so if I get all this done and ready for prime time, I'll take a little video. I'll walk outside and take a little video, and you can see my garden. I actually have an amaryllis blooming right now. So I posted that on my Instagram. That's pretty cool. The funny thing is that it bloomed in January. And now it's blooming again, and I didn't freeze it in between. So it's just a happy guy. So we love it. It's beautiful. Of course, we're supposed to like rain like cats and dogs tomorrow, so hopefully it'll survive. So we're going to take a road trip, but probably not. I am going to bike quite a lot this summer. So hopefully I'm going to bike 150 miles, maybe 200 miles. So I figure I'm going to concentrate on my garden in June and bike ride in July. Get up early in the morning and go, and make sure that there's ice cream on the way. I'm going to fill up a journal, finish the 100-day project, and go to at least 1 botanical garden. So I'm hoping maybe 2. So we'll have to see if we go anywhere. So, all right, and then there's my little herbses. And now, so if you have any questions, put them in the Facebook group or leave a comment. Let me know any questions about technique or what you should do for the summer, just anything in that I can help you with this challenge. Please just leave me a question and then I will get that answered for you. So now we are ready for challenge 2. Are you ready? Have you started? I'm started. Okay, I'm done. But I'm going to show you what I did. Okay. So the first thing, okay, well, I'm just to show you that's what I came up with. So our challenge was, so I wanted you to find a translation of John 15:4, where I think I have that up on the screen. Nope, that one. There it is. There it is. So John 15:4, and I personally like the English Standard Version, ESV. Abide in me as I will in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit by itself unless it abides in the vine, and neither can you unless you abide in me. So I just think that word abide, actually I looked it up and it says to wait patiently, and I just think it's time to just rest and just enjoy the presence of the Lord and just enjoy the summer. And hopefully your situation allows you to enjoy a bit of the summer. We all have things to do, still working, those kinds of things. But so how do we get back to let's get back. Okay, so how do we get back to this? So the first thing I wanted to do was just draw some vines. So very simple vines. So let me move this over and turn the page and we'll get back to that. And let's draw some vines, okay? Very simple vines. So and feel free to do this in pencil, right? Do this in pencil. And actually, I'm going to see if I can find a Sharpie. Oh, I don't know about that. Well, let's see if we can find a bigger, fatter one. Let's try an 8. So we'll see if an 8 will work. All right. So just kind of draw an S curve like that. And then you can draw. So your basic leaf shape is like that, okay? And then you can put a line through it, but you know there are leaves that are round, and so you know, you can just draw a series of leaves like that, right? And then nature likes to be symmetrical like that, so you can put leaves, and then sometimes they're not, and I forget exactly what that's called. In my Master Gardener training years ago I could tell you, but I can't tell you now. It starts with a P. I know that. I don't know why I know that, but I do. So alright, but they could be offset as well, so that could be a choice. So your leaves could be, put a circle, and then so it could be at an angle, right? It could be flat like that. It could be down, right? And they're all going to give you kind of a different look. So our whole goal is to write the verse and then decorate the wreath, okay? And I'm going to show you several different ways. I just decided I am loving watercolor, and I just thought I would just do it in watercolor. And I didn't tape it down so you can kind of see. I don't know if you can see how. All right. You can kind of see that there it is. See, it's kind of bowed a little bit because I didn't tape it down. So you can kind of see it. So this is probably not going to lay real flat. Or maybe, well, I'm just going to say I could paint on the back side of it. But that's for next week's challenge, so I can't paint on the back side of it. So, all right, but let's, now we kind of generally know where we're going. And so here I'm going to post this, so just make sure, just practice this so we have some vines and some flowers. And flowers are, you know, very simple. You know, we can just make petals, and we can leave spaces between the petals like this, right? We could make them more square so there's not spaces between the petals, right? Like something like that. That's a choice. And then we could come back and we could just make these more full and fill in like another layer of petals underneath, you know, like a dahlia has, or sometimes some of the mums have, and we could just keep going, right? Just keep going and just maybe don't be sloppy like me. Take your time and just keep going. And so it's fine. So I combine round with pointies leaves. It's all fine because, you know, this is a whimsy and it's fun, so just be fun. We're not being accurate. Remember, we're not entering an art contest or we're going to frame this. We're not. It's just going to be part of our journal and our worship time with the Lord. And he's, you know, if we honor him, he's just going to honor what we do. And so he doesn't expect us to be perfect. So we are just going to practice and it's going to be fine. And we're just going to worship him through our art. So, all right. So now that you've got this whole page done, now you've got a page of reference. So then let's look at some ways to actually get some started, right? So actually, here's my wreath journal for my 100-day project, and it's on day 47, which is May 23rd. So you can go back to my Instagram and find it there, and my Instagram is @blessinks. So it's @blessinks, BLESSINKS, like blessings with a K instead of a G. So here's several ways. So I'm going to show you this. So if we have multiple lines, it kind of creates some interest. And then if we have, I'm going to divide them 4 and to kind of show you just some different ways and some different techniques to finish the wreath. And I can't wait to see what you guys do. But before that, I think maybe we should talk about the middle, right? Because maybe if you're going to go to the trouble of lettering, it might be a really good idea to get the middle stuff done. So I decided, so first of all, I looked up abide and to wait patiently for. And then, I mean, and you certainly don't have to do it that way. You could just do the verse. And you know what? You could also just do abide in me and I in you. That might just be a great place to stop if you don't want to do a lot of lettering. So, but I decided to make that bigger. So I wrote it out once and went, oh, that's kind of okay. And then I put myself in a circle and wrote it out again. So I knew I kind of wanted to make abide larger, and that's pretty awful lettering, but this is my scratch sheet, so it doesn't matter. And so then I decided just going to write this in the middle and then just write the rest of the verse underneath, and then maybe write out in cursive, abide in me, John 15:4. So, and that's kind of what I ended up doing. So right like that. So kind of like that. So again, this is kind of silly whimsy, and so it's not perfect, and I didn't want it to be perfect because it's just I wanted to rest. And I'll get to this technique here in a little bit, but I just think maybe you should get your lettering done first, and that way if you're not happy with it, you can print it again, start another piece of paper. Notice I went ahead and drew lines with my ruler, very light lines, but I have some very light lines in here so you can see, so it kind of help guide me on my my lettering. So all right, so there's that. So, and especially with my lettering, I guess I will show you. I try to keep things, so if I'm going to draw like that, so just as a guide, and then that way I can, I'm going to just make, in this case, my cross line small, so everything's going to say, and then we're going to say, abide in me, and because that's the name of the Lord, we're going to make that capital. So, and then we can come back and add little serif feet, doodles, and kind of, so add serifs, or if we want to just have a little more fun, and he can go down below the line a little bit. So that's just a way to just take a very simple block letter and add some flair and pizzazz to it. All right. So centering, probably that's something else I will talk about. So let's assume that we wanted to do this in 2 lines, abide in me and I in you. So the way we're going to center a line is we're going to count the spaces, we're going to count the letters and the spaces, and then we're going to divide by 2, and I'll show you that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 spaces. 11 divided by 2, I believe 6 is going to be in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is going to be in the middle, that space. And so, well, let's do an I and you. And I in you. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So again, we have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the middle is going to be an I, middle, and the space is with the first 6, and then in you is going to be with the second 6. So I know I don't have exactly a ton of room down here, but so now that we know that this is the middle, and obviously you don't want to ink that in, but I just want to make sure that you can see it. And so in this case, the space, that's the space, and so I'm going to start right after in you, right? So see, I'm going to start working this way, and now I'm going to go backwards. So abide in me, and then I'm going to do the I, and I, and then I'm going to write the word and, I'm going to write it backwards. So I'm going to do the D, and then the N, and then the A. And feel free to do that. See that my spacing isn't great there, so feel free to do that in pencil, and then so you can kind of erase a little bit and get your spacing right, and then go back through with ink. So that's how you center if you decided that you wanted to do centering on your lettering. All right, well, let's look at some wreath techniques. Okay, so the first one I did, I'll just show you the one I did here. And now I am really trying to work on my finding my pen. That's where to go. All right, and there it is. Like, where did it go? All right, so all right, so I'm just gonna get some dark green here, I think. All right, and so this is, oh, by the way, I have the Master's Touch 48 because I like these little pan colors versus having them mixed in the tubes. I don't do that so well. Inevitably I mix and then I don't have enough, so I really prefer the pans. But anyway, so this set is okay. It's a $40 set, but they have half price sales, and so I think I got it for $20. So I had a half price Master's Touch sale. So it's okay. I think the colors could be a little more vibrant, but not complaining. For 20 bucks, I'm pretty happy because I know Daniel Smith is like the professional grade quality, or Jane Davenport's professional grade, and I think a set of like 12 was like almost $90, so you can see there's a huge difference in colors and price. So for $20, this is just a great little set. So, and then of course, then I had to be a nerd, and I had to, and this is so helpful to put your little colors here, so I know exactly what color, because I mean some of those look all the same. They look black to me. But if I can count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can count over, and then I know what color I'm getting. So that's a very helpful way to organize your paints. So all right, so there's 2 ways to do this. So I am just trying to learn to create, and so for some of you watercolor people are probably thinking, oh my gosh, she's got a long way to go, which I do because I'm just kind of starting out. But you can just kind of make your leaf with just the watercolor and just let it go like that, and something like that, right? Or you can feel free to draw your leaves, and that way they might be a little more consistent and you might be a little happier with it. And then you can go back, but just make sure they, and actually I might even use like a really light green colored pencil, because sometimes these don't want to erase. And the pattern that I used was I kind of did 3 leaves and then some red dots. So let's see if I wanted to use, so this color, and then, so you can see, so sometimes I got a little, they kind of blended a little bit, like I don't want it, but like here it blended, and I did that when I just took my brush and I kind of drug it through the colors, and then kind of let it explode a little bit. And of course I am very messy, so I got a little spot there, and then you were like, wow, that's kind of neat with this little, just one little thing. But what happened is I put my hand in the 3 little dots that got red, and that got all over the place. And so I said, oh, I guess we're going to have a big flower. So that's kind of why we have a big flower on that one. So anyway, so there's one way to do it, is just kind of, you can paint or markers. You can use your, colored markers. I guess that's a little bit redundant. And just use your markers. And an interesting thing I like to do with my markers, let me see if I can find it. We're just going to grab this, is sometimes I like to go and make that line like that, okay, and then come back with a different color. And that makes just a really interesting, so you can kind of see the green in a little bit. And if you just wanted, well, I didn't get enough green there, you can always go back over. And then your eye is seeing blue and green. So that's just another way. So again, I'm just cross hatching. I'm just drawing lines one way. And then I'm going to come back with my next color. And maybe these are not a fair comparison because I have a marker and a pen, so maybe 2 pens would be probably blend a little better. So, but that's just another technique. All right, let's move on. So, all right, so this one, I'm going to use this right here. I'm going to use this one. And so again, I think it'd be really interesting to just kind of come up and come over here. Where is my heavy duty? I want to use my heavy duty lines. All right, so there's that. So come up and then come out one, and maybe come over, and then come again, and then maybe come here. All right, and so you can create 3. So that's really simple, very easy to do. So I'm just going, and so let's see, every other. So I did. So now I'm going to come to this one, do this one, and then you can take a marker and do dots, and then maybe you could do 3 dots, right? Or you could just do black dots, or you could just do. You could do a spiral, something like that, spiral. All right, and then maybe go back and put a little color in those, or you can just do dots, just a single dot or multiple dots, and just kind of keep going with that. So that will make a lovely wreath. And so very simple. Let's see, and this wreath, the other wreath I wanted to show you. Oh, let me just first show, and so how I got those circles was I simply drew, I took a roll of tape and I simply drew that. So, let's see, what else do I want to show you? So let's say, I'm gonna save that one. I got a surprise for you. All right, so just hang on. So let's say that we wanted to put some flowers here on, so I'm gonna put them at the edges, and let's just say I'm going to kind of maybe do a little bunch of flowers. Okay, right, and maybe another one here, and then I'm going to do some leaves there, right, maybe double leaves there. So basically I'm just going to do a bunch of flowers, and then I'm going to take I'm just trying not to make this video last 4 hours, right? Just trying to move this along because I want you guys to get to your challenge and get out there and enjoy the summer. Although we're supposed to have crazy rain tomorrow. So, all right. So, and then you just draw some leaves. And in this case, I'm going to make my leaves symmetrical. Right? All right, so, and then you can kind of just continue and maybe make those flowers a little bit bigger, add more to them, something like that. Anyway, and you're just going to continue, and you could do 4 different doodles, right? So you could do, well, that's not this one. On this side, we could just do round leaves, right, until we got the next to the doodles. So that's another technique. But then this is the one I wanted to show you. And so if you wanted to get some watercolor paper, right, so what I did was I just took some watercolor and I just wetted it first, and then I just took some, well, okay, so let's do this so I can show you over here. Okay, so not clean watercolors. All right, so my paints are not that clean. All right, should change my color. Change your water. Do that quick. Do that a lot. All right, so I'm just going to use the same colors that I had. So you can, but all right, so you can think of water is kind of the gas, right? And if you want things to spread, then you add water, right? And so, and then you can always just let it run a little bit. So that's could be very interesting as to see what happens there, and just let it be. My table's on a slant. So, but you know, you can just maybe add some more, go back to here, and just see, and just let it just kind of have a party and just see what happens. So that's kind of what I did here. All right, so in pencil I am going to very lightly draw a circle. Okay, so go up so you can see it, and then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just decide, I'm going to maybe do kind of a maybe little sunflower. So the easiest way to do a sunflower is to come off and do 4, right? And then fill in, right? And then you can add more in the background, right? Some more. And then you can even do another layer after that, right? And then I'm going to come here with a big leaf, right? And I know mine's a little bold in this small space because I want to make sure you can see it, but probably if I was using doing this for my journal, I probably wouldn't use this bold pen. I'd use something a little smaller. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a sticky note, and I am going to position it so I'm covering my flower like that. All right, and then I am just going to come around and I'm going to just draw maybe 3 or 4 lines because I want to make room Make sure I have room. Okay. So, and then when we take the Post-it note up, we have our flower, but we didn't have to draw through it, and then we didn't have to like start and stop the lines. And now we can then start adding flowers, or leaves actually, the whole way. And sometimes it's just interesting, and you can just go to like, oh, I don't have any more room, right? So I'm done there. So maybe you just want to add some dots over here, and then maybe up here further we're going to just add some little tiny flowers. All right, little tiny flowers. And so, and just kind of keep going and use this as a reference, and just kind of keep adding. Maybe over here, gonna do that, those loop patterns. And then if you could also go back in, and you could just leave it just like this because it's got color, or if you wanted to add darker green to the leaves for some accents, or get crazy and add some red or purple, just whatever colors that you are speaking to you, then that's what you should do. And then you could also do like we did before and have some dots. And maybe there. All right. So I do not want to belabor this video any longer because I want you guys to get going. I want to see what you guys do. So I can't wait to see what you do for challenge 2. So don't forget, there is a Facebook Live on Friday. So let me make sure. I'm going to look at my notes to make sure I am not missing anything that I am supposed to tell you, because we don't want to forget anything. So, all right, yes, we have a Facebook Live on Friday, and I'm also going to be introducing some Sketchnotes. So where are my, let's see. So Sketchnotes are going to be a 1-hour live Zoom session, limited to 10 people for $10. And it's just going to be an opportunity. We're going to have another little summer camp activity, and it's just going to be an opportunity for us to have some dialogue and ask some questions, and you can show me your stuff and get some critiques, whatever you'd like to do. So it's your time, and that's why I'm limiting to 10 people to make sure that we can get everybody in. And so I am very excited. And so those dates are going to be June 17th and June 25th. So I guess that's the day before our next, well, right. So we're going to have Facebook Live on June the 12th and June the 26th on Friday at 2. And then we're going to have Sketchnotes at on the 17th and the 25th. And I think I'm probably going to do that in the evening, so I think we're just going to start at 7 in the evening. I'm not 100% sure, because I need to look at, I might start that a little earlier, because then the East Coast, the West Coast, I got to find the right time to make everybody happy between East and West Coast. And then give me some feedback. Like if those times don't work for you and I should do this in the middle of the day, I'm totally open. So my times are not set in stone, so tell me if you're interested, let me know, and maybe I'll adjust those times. And so I would very much hope that you can attend. I think it's going to be a great time, and we're going to just really get to know you a little better. You get to know me, ask some questions. It's going to be just a really, really awesome time. So, all right, stay tuned for that, and that'll be available early next week. And leave your questions in the comments, or shoot me an email, or leave a Facebook comment, and let me know how I can help you. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you on Friday, Facebook Live. Bye now.